Ang sekretary nga ninyo wala dito eh. Kung anong pamumulitik ang ginagawa na naman ng sekretary nyo. Excuse me, hindi po nag-break ang Senado na hindi inaaksyonan ang hinihiling ng executive. Hindi nyo po yung sinasabi, makinig kayo. Huwag kayong nagpapalusot dito ha. Sinasabi nyo, yung letter na sa inyo eh. Tapos nag-break kayo.
Humarap sa pagdinig ng Senado ang ilang ahensya ng pamahalaan. Tinalakay sa komite ang epekto ng tensyon sa Middle East. Nag-ugat ang pagdinig sa tuloy-tuloy na pagtaas ng presyo ng petrolyo. Nakaapekto na rin ang oil price hike sa presyo ng mga pangunahing bilihin. Sa committee hearing, kinalampag ng mga senador ang Administrasyong Marcos. Pinunan nila ang pagtanggi ng Malacanang na may krisis na sa bansa.
We are already in crisis. No? Hindi na po normal ang sitwasyon. And what we have to do right now is do the preparations just like during the COVID.
Nananawagan din si Senator Bam Aquino sa Malacanang. Nais siyang kilalanin ng palasyo ang epekto ng digmaan sa Middle East bilang isang krisis. Dapat din umunong isaalang-alang ang pagdedeklara ng State of National Emergency. Ayon pa sa senador, tumitindi na ang epekto nito sa mga mamamayan.
Halos isang buwan na po na nasa krisis ang ating bansa. Ngayong araw, mahigit ₱1 na ang kada litro ng diesel at gasolina. Ramdam na po ng pamilyang Pilipino ang mabigat na epekto ng pagtaas ng presyo ng bilihin.
Sinabi naman ni Senator Loren Legarda na hindi dapat magbulag-bulagan ang pamahalaan. Mahihirapan umano ang gobyerno na kumilos kung hindi kikilalanin ang krisis.
So, each agency represented here must act as if we are in a crisis because we are in a crisis. Anybody who says, chill lang tayo, wala namang krisis. No.
Nais din na malaman ng mga senador kung saan kukunin ang pondo para sa ayuda sa mga apektadong sektor.
Anong mga pondo sa 2025 ang hindi nagagamit na pwedeng wag na ito? Ano sa 2026 na tatawagin nating I'll call a spade, luho na travel, party-party, cancelin lahat yan.
Aminado ang Department of Agriculture na malaki ang epekto ng sigalot sa kanilang sektor dahil sa patuloy na tensyon sa Middle East ay bahagyan ng tumaas ang presyo ng bigas, manok at baboy sa mga palengke. Kukulangin din umano ang supply ng palay, mais, sibuyas at iba pang gulay kung magtutuloy-tuloy ang girian sa Middle East.
For the livestock, worst case scenario, yung ating pong mga smallholders will 2 to 3% of the smallholders will either go bankrupt or switch ventures altogether. For the fisheries po, we already identified given the scenarios, kung nandito na po tayo sa $100 per barrel, magkakaroon na po tayo ng slight decline sa ating mga dumadating na mga isdaan sa ating mga fish landing. At plus makikita na po natin ang pagtaas ng presyo sa retail prices.
Sinabi naman ng Department of Economy, Planning and Development o DepDev, posibleng tumaas muli ang inflation. Iniuugnay ito sa patuloy na krisis sa langis sa pandaigdigang merkado.
For the 2026, you see the slightly shaded area there where the inflation associated with each of the scenarios would be higher than what we are targeting, and it will reach and in scenario 4 and 5 actually we return to the high inflation. We could potentially return to the high inflation in early months of last year.
Dagdag pa ng kalihim, posibleng umabot sa 8.6% ang inflation rate sa Pilipinas. Ito ay kung magpapatuloy ang kaguluhan sa gitnang silangan. Sa ulat naman ng Department of Energy nitong Martes, naglalaro na sa 8 hanggang 12 pesos ang itinaas sa gasolina. Nasa 15 hanggang 18 pesos naman ang dagdag sa kada litro ng diesel, habang 12 hanggang 22 piso ang itinaas sa presyo ng kerosene. Bago pa man may presenta ng mga ahensya ng pamahalaan ang kanilang mga report, ay pinunana ni Senator Legarda ang hindi pagsipot ni Energy Secretary Sharon Garin. Nagpantig naman ang tenga ng senadora sa naging pahayag ng taga-DOE na hindi magagamit ng Philippine National Oil Company ang pondo ng walang approval ng Kongreso. Ayon sa DOE, nakabreak umano kasi ang Kongreso, kaya naantalang pagtugon sa krisis.
Excuse me, hindi po nag-break ang Senado na hindi inaaksyonan ang hinihiling ng executive. That's unfair. Eh, ang sekretary nga ninyo wala dito eh. Kung anong pamumulitik ang ginagawa na naman ng sekretary nyo.
Una na ring ipiniliwanag ni Senator Sherwin Gatchalian at chairman ng komite na bigong dumalo si Garinde sa maraming schedule. Pero natapos ang ilang oras sa sermon ng ilang senador sa mga taga-DOE ay sumipot naman ang kalihim sa Senado.
Kung batas po yan, kung
Not
batas
trigger.
po yan, kung paano ko lang batas, tanong ko, nabigay na ba nyo sa Senado at sa Kongreso yung bill? Pangalawa, na-certify ba ng urgent? At kung hindi pa, anong sense of urgency ninyo sa DOE kung sinasabi nyo sa hearing na ito na kailangan may batas na ganito,
Mr. Chair.
legislation? Number one, are the draft bills in both houses of Congress, have they been referred to the appropriate committees? I did not see a certification of urgency by the Office of the President. If you seem to say, sir, that this is very urgent.
Mr. Chair, if I may, we did realize this when the situation unfolded as shown on the graph. So you would see that it's a fairly constant 20, and then when the crisis happened, the market reacted differently now. The spread was increasing very fast, and in fact, we already issued based on the $80 the certification by the DOE. So with this realization, we said that we need to change because with what has recently happened, we need to change the trigger probably to make it more reactive to situations like this.
Just to clarify, yung trigger kasi is meant to do two things. One is to trigger the suspension of excise tax. Two is to release the Pantawid Pasada under DOTR. But ito are for purposes of triggering the release of funds. Ang DOE should have a much different trigger. Dapat mas maaga kayo, wag niyo nang antayin yung mga trigger sa loob ng GA kasi hindi yan para sa inyo. Para yan sa release ng funds. No, so ang punto ko, nung nangyari na yung digmaan, ang analysis ng DOE should be very different. I don't think you should blame the trigger. Kaya late tayo umakto. Kasi iba yun eh. Ibang-iba yun. But again, with the indulgence for colleagues, let's allow DOE to finish first, and then later on we can propound those questions. And then after that, we'll go to DepDev para to look at the inflation scenario and also to the Department of Agriculture for the spillover effects to food security.
Thank you,
Mr. Chair.
That's it.
And before I propound questions later, pagkatapos lang po ng DOE presentation, meron lang akong immediate na observation sa presentation nila kasi it relates po dun sa interpellation natin ng excise tax bill. Salamat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Risa. Go ahead, Yusek Sales.
Thank you po. Next slide po. Now, this is just a graphical presentation against the 5 scenarios. So, yung second clustered columns, yan ang current situation na po natin. And you can compare dun sa scenario 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 using yung time-bound and Dubai average. So, in reality, as of this week po, nag-i-straddle na tayo between S3 and S4 scenarios that were given by the committee. So yan po ang situation ngayong linggo. Okay, next slide po. Baka medyo maliit pero nilagay lang namin yung action ng DOE in terms of yung immediate Tier 1, Tier 2 at saka Tier 3, 30-day, 90-day and beyond 90 days. So, yung nasa unahan was yung sinabi ni Yusek Wimpy during the first week of the situation, intensified inventory check. We wanted to make sure anong estado ng ating supply. Nag-coordinate sa LGU, PNP to check on profiteering and hoarding. Tapos immediately we engaged the oil companies for potential mitigation in price adjustments like what happened in the first 2 weeks that they were staggering the increases. Then we intensified the energy savings program. In fact, we instituted work from home, carpooling in the department itself. We also went out to the other national government agencies for for their implementation, more intense implementation of the energy savings programs in place. We also activated PNOC and PNOC EC to try and look for other sources. And in fact, yung first cargo na in-order ni PNOC EC is arriving towards the end of this week. Diesel po siya. Dadating po sa Subic ngayon linggo. We also engage with the different embassies to ensure yung mga existing contracts po natin, kasi karamihan ng produkto natin ang gagaling po sa South Korea, China, Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, around the region lang, malapit. But we talk to all of the ambassadors here, and in some of the instances directly talk to their Ministry of Energy or to ensure that yung existing contracts yung na-order na in place ay wag pong tamaan ng any sort of export ban. And in fact, kaya medyo gumanda yung inventory, may deliveries na dumating from China, South Korea, Japan. Yung usual suppliers natin are still coming in. That's why yung pinakitang inventory is relatively high. May 38 days po tayo sa gasoline, 42 I think days sa diesel, and more para sa bunker fuel. No? So those are the things we immediately encountered. Of course, pwede rin kasing mag-cascade into the power sector, so we immediately talk to the importers of our coal. So although in power, konti na lang ginagamit natin, peaking fuel na lang yan. But of course, yung coal kasi ini-import natin sa Indonesia, so may marginal increase dahil sa transportation, shipping costs sa Indonesia. So hindi pa namin na-quantify, but it's looking itong mga bagong shipments na dadating ng coal, marginally 10 to 20% increase, primarily sa freight cost. No, but we're already engaging the power plants, especially magsasummer na po tayo. And then yung dinify natin sa tier 2, further actions natin in the short to medium term. Ito na nga, nag-engage na kami sa embassies to ensure our continued supply para sa mga private contracts with all of our supplying countries. And then we intensified yung ordering ng PNOC and PNOC EC to move out from the environment. We have recommended as well a exemption to the importation of biofuels, because every percent biofuel, nababawasan yung need for the gasoline and the diesel. The NBB will be convening to address yung potential to increase yung ethanol blend sa gasolina po natin. Currently, nasa E10 tayo. Baka we're looking at increasing it to E15. Although meron po tayong existing na voluntary E20 usage. Pero maraming technical discussions about E20. Also, we are going to be seeking approval for the supplemental budget for PNOC. The request has been passed to the Committee on Energy chair in the House, I think. So we want to activate yung funds ng GOCC natin to be able to address yung inventory natin in country, to keep it at a healthy level. So there's more there. But,
Mr. Chair,
go ahead.
follow up lang, magkano yung supplemental budget na hinihingi nyo for PNOC?
I think yung initial request, if I'm not very sure, but it should be 8 billion to 10 billion. And this is not funds from the national government. That those are funds in the PNOC, but needs congressional action in the budget para ma-release, magamit.
Well noted. Salamat, Mr. Chair.
Thank
Just to place on record, the National Oil and Gas Contingency Plan was in place in 2023. We were using the previous plan 2002, but it was also based on the 1973 experience of the Philippines. So, siya po yung pinaka-senior na nandun na noong 1973 po.
The congressional approval is needed based on the answer to the question of Senator Ontiveros. So, has it been communicated to both houses?
I think a letter was submitted to the committee chairs, but naka-break po.
Kasi po, we were willing to go on special session. May we know, number one, no GAA funds needed. It's with PNOC, and all it needed was congressional approval. And bicameral, ang dali naman. Isa lang na araw yan. May I know, kailan po binigay ng DOE sa Senado, kailan natanggap yung sulat, kailan binigay sa atensyon ng leadership at ng chair ng komite? May we know? I mean, this is what I mean We act with urgency. It's not a matter of walang pondo. May pondo, it came from DOE's information, congressional approval. So it doesn't take too much if it's an urgent matter. We were able to pass the excise tax, and to be fair to the chair, kaagad nagtrabaho at napasa po namin. So kailan po ito?
Yeah, PNOC is here, Mr. Chair. Initially, itong first two cargos actually, merong releasable fund pa si PNOCEC. That's why we bought the first cargo. And then there's a second cargo coming in. So,
Ito po tinatanong yung ilang cargo. Simple question. If the DOE says that all it needs is congressional approval and the PNOC has the funds, and you said that the letters were sent because it is important that the people know that letters are not sitting in the Senate without action. We would know if there is a letter that is deemed urgent. Kasi wala ang inyong DOE secretary Wala dito nandito siya last week. Sinabi ba niya sa chairman ng Energy? Sinabi ba niya sa leadership sa Senado? Wala. Ang kanyang linalabi yung biofuel. Sinabi ba yan? Because this is so urgent. It did not come from us. It came from the DOE. May I just know the date? Sir, I know you're a technical person and you seem very knowledgeable. I just need to know, it's an admin matter. Can we kindly put on record after this presentation, Mr. Chair, just bear with me, so that hindi ang itsura nakapending sa Senado, tapos sasabihin nyo, kasi po nag-break, excuse me, hindi po nag-break ang Senado na hindi inaaksyonan ang hinihiling ng executive. Dalawa ang inyong hiningi. Excise tax, napasa namin. At sabihin nyo on the record, kailan nyo mai-implement yan, at ang gulo ninyo. Sinabi nyo, excise tax, kailangan urgent. Nung napasa namin, sinabi, we will see. Yan, galing sa inyo yan kung gagamitin. Tapos, the next day, sige na nga. Ano ba? Ano ba? Kailangan ba? Hindi. It was deemed urgent, napasa, tapos pagkapasa namin, we will see. I'm quoting the executive, nanggaling sa inyo yan. Tapos ngayon, gagawin na. And cite the impact, mararamdaman pa. Yun ang sabi ng chair ni Senator Pia. Ano ang ramdam sa pagbaba o pagkaltas ng excise tax? Yung biofuel, maraming concern sa mga coconut and sugar farmers. Pero itong sinabi niyong low-hanging fruit, congressional approval. Tapos nagsabi po kayo, sir, with all due respect kasi po nag-break. Hindi po magandang pakinggan yan. Hindi po mag-break ang Senado kung sinabi niyong kailangan ng congressional approval ang paggamit ng PNOC ng kanilang pondo. Pakilagay po sa record after your presentation and we give a chance to the others, Mr. Chair. Because it's important na hindi tinuturo sa atin na nag-break tayo kaya ang PNOC hindi makagamit ng kanyang pera. That's unfair. Ang secretary nga ninyo wala dito Kung anong pamumulitik ang ginagawa na naman ng sekretary nyo.
Break tayo session pero tuloy-tuloy pa ho yung aming hearing. At kung kailangan po mag-convene, ready naman po magkaroon ng special session at any time. No? So,
Hindi pwedeng tinuturo-turo nyo kami. Hindi nyo pwedeng sinasabi, makinig kayo. Huwag kayo nagpapalusot dito ha. Sinasabi nyo, yung letter na sa inyo eh. Tapos nag-break kayo. Double jeopardy, hindi pwede yon. Sorry, hindi po kami papayag nun. Kung alam po namin hindi kami mag-break, tama po ang chair. Tinan mo nga, mag-break. Gusto nyo Holy Week, magtrabaho tayo dito eh. Darating natin ang secretary. Burn the midnight candle. Walang labasan sa kwarto hanggang hindi nakita ang pagtulong sa itang tao. Pero wag niyong sasabihin na nag-break kami kaya hindi napasa yung hiniling ng DOE na congressional approval. Hindi po, sir. Hindi niyo kasalanan yon kasi wala ang inyong sekretarya. I can't think of anything more important than this hearing convened by the chair. And if the other cabinet members are here, why could the most important department not be present? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
thank you. And may I reiterate, Secretary Yusek Fentabella, na kung pwede namang ipagpaliban muna ni Secretary Garin yung kanyang mga meetings, tingin ko hanggang mamaya pa tayo dito. After her Malacanang meeting, mas magandang pumunta ho siya dito. No? Pakisabi na lang ho sa kanya. Pinadala niya sa akin yung mga schedule niya. Tingin ko naman mas mahalagang makausap niya ngayon ang taong bayan para marinig sa kanya mismo kung ano yung kanyang mga plano kung sakaling mawala talaga tayo ng langis. So, okay. Go ahead. Can you...
Okay. Apologies, Your Honors. Just to clarify, when it was mentioned that a letter was sent, it was for a future action. But we commend definitely the action of the Congress on what we requested. Now, when we saw that there is a need for us to shift, that is a further action. Pero na-trigger na naman po yung dati nating ginawa.